Siobhan Campbell, Nationwide News. I have a few questions, but I would like to follow up on Kim Owens regarding the matter of the CCJ. As you pointed out today, there is no political consensus on that issue whatsoever. So bringing it to the parliament seems almost pointless. So why not go directly to the Jamaican people in a referendum at a later date, rather than twinning it with other issues that you may have consensus at, which will inevitably end up in the entire thing not going through, as you have pointed out, saying it would end up being a contentious issue at a ballot?
Well, the process of removing the Privy Council and installing the CCJ as our final court has to be done by Parliament. It has to go to Parliament. It can't be done by a referendum that bypasses Parliament. That would violate the Constitution that we have. So that's a simple answer to your question.
But wouldn't a referendum at least settle the matter as to, in the eyes of the public and the political directorate, as to what is the direction the country would like to go? Not a poll done by some pollster in some newspaper.
Yeah. As I've said, matters to do with the justice system, the judiciary, are best kept out of the realm of politics. It's not good to infect decisions around the justice system by the political process. Other countries, many other countries, have gone through this process. None of them have done so via a referendum. And for us, the Constitution is clear on the matter as interpreted by the Privy Council itself, and it does not favor a referendum. We may disagree on the point, but that's our position. Okay,
my next question. You said here today that the matter of the constitutional reform was flawed from the get-go. You have stated that you would not agree to any reform process that did not include the CCJ up front. But the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs has similarly stated from the get-go that the CCJ matter would not be dealt with up front, and you still signed on to the Reform Committee by appointing 3 members, including Mr. Hilton and Mrs. Donna Scott Motley.
Well, first of all, I didn't appoint 3 members. I appointed 2 members. I also suggested to the government that the committee needed strengthening because I wasn't happy with the configuration of it. And I suggested that they consider Hugh Small, King's Counsel, to strengthen the committee. And they accepted that, and they appointed Hugh Small to the committee. That is how Hugh became a member of the committee. Yes, I am aware of the minister's position that there was not consensus around how to deal with the CCJ. We could have said at that point we weren't going to move forward at all. However, we decided that the constitutional reform process is important, and we believe that there was room for further dialogue and achieving consensus around this issue. As I've said, when we've spoken to both in the Vale Royal talks and with the Prime Minister most recently 3 weeks ago, the position put to us is not that, oh no, we're not going to agree with that. It's that, we're considering, we need to talk, we need to think some more about it. And we've said, fine, let us know your position and then we'll know what to do. And that's where it's at, that's where it's at now.
And another question regarding the matter of the CRC committee. This whole issue of whether Jamaica signs on to the CCJ or not, considering the importance of transitioning from a British monarchical rule to a republic, is it worth the essential destruction of the entire process to require a red line be the CCJ and the final appellate court?
Absolutely necessary. We're not in favor of a phased approach to decolonization. We're not in favor of having 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the King's Yard. We must either be in or out. We can't be neither fish nor fowl. Time come to deal with this matter once and for all. That's our position.
And if the matter is not dealt with once and for all, are you comfortable with it being pushed on another decade, 20 years?
Generations are going to have to live with this. Jamaican people should have access to justice now to their final court. It's been denied them from slavery to now. Very few cases go to the Privy Council from Jamaica each year. A small fraction of appeals that are adjudicated by the Court of Appeal here end up at the Privy Council for the benefit of the learning of the final court. It's an untenable situation, and now they're trying to impose a rule that would allow them to vet whether something which is covered by our Constitution and gives somebody an appeal as of right can in fact have that appeal heard. They want to vet that by 1 judge looking through and 3 judges deciding whether to proceed with the appeal before it is allowed to actually be heard by the 5-man panel or 5-person panel, which is what the Privy Council normally sits in. So the situation is not tenable to us, and we need to fix it now. And we've given the government, and we've been trying to get them on board for many years with this, and decades with it. We acceded to the Charter of Rights on the basis that this would be addressed at the time. They haven't fulfilled on that side of the bargain, and this is a time when I'm prepared to wait. I want generations to come to have a good constitution. I want generations to come to have access to their final court. Shanique Myrie got justice because of her access to the CCJ. She wasn't a rich person. She couldn't afford to take a case to London, but she got justice. The court came here and heard her case, and Barbados had to pay her damages for having wrongfully excluded her from Barbados. And that is a kind of benefit I want the Jamaican people to have, not just on treaty issues around CARICOM access, but on all issues to do with constitutional rights, commercial disputes, and criminal appeals. Time come for that.
And then finally from me, how would you answer charges that, considering the political climate and the closeness of a general election, that this, what many would consider obstinacy, is just a political ploy?
The timing is not determined by us. The timing is being pushed by the minister for her own purposes. If she wants to go into a referendum process in the run to a general election, she'll have to answer to her own party as to why that is, especially when they're behind in the polls. For us, this is a fundamental issue of governance affecting future generations on an issue which we think is fundamental to who we are as Jamaicans and where we have come, how far we have reached as a people, as a proud people, the people of Marcus Garvey, the people who Bob Marley sung for, and that took it to the world. Time come for us to believe in ourselves and in the institutions that we helped to build, and to design optimally so that it can serve the people of the region and to serve the people of Jamaica in particular. So this is not about, I don't see this as deriving any political benefit for me or us. I don't see where that is in this. This is about principle. And we will stand by principle because the future generations of Jamaica will never forgive us if we don't. Thank you.